Wart, not art. It's a German saying. I tried to find it in the internet, but couldn't find the source who invented it. If Kunst would come from wollen, from wanting, it would could be called Wunst. This nicely translate, if art would come from wanting something to be art, it could be called Wart. Um, this is originally kind of like often used as an argument against art that comes from the pure claim something being art, and prefers art artifacts from a distinct made from distinct hands that have a certain talent and capability that distincts it from something that everyone can. So this is then also connected to the other Germans saying that that's what my grandmother could do too. But with the conceptualization of the art and the arts, where the concept kind of like is in the foreground, or is a possibility to define an artwork purely through the concept, this kind of like throwing back on craftyship and all that kind of possibilities seems old-fashioned. But I want to throw a different light on the Wart, on the art Wart. And it's kind of connected to what I spoke yesterday about the curatorial practice, the pre-curation of artists to serve a kind of curatorial industry to being picked up. I think the wanting is kind of like it's predating the invention of the creative industry, and that would be a question whether that is becomes, of course, an option if everything is just conceptual. The wanting can just want everything, and that is that to want. I think how is this motivated? I gave it a little bit of a thought, and I think one of the sources could be actually admiring an artwork, admiring artists, but just feeding from experience looking at art and somehow to repeat or to participate in that artistic process. So that could be a good reason why somebody wants something. And then another aspect is, of course, then as soon as you come even to the lowest key art education, there's such a thing like competition and distinction, and you have people, and that's only not kind of like it's also you learn by looking at other people, and you have discussions with each others, and you express things, you kind of develop ideas. So here the wanting and the ambition are actually a driving engine and not something that is just negative. I think it flips around, and you probably all know somebody that are an artist, wanted to be an artist, or are even successful artists that want all the time, but are not so good at actually doing things. But I think there has been a kind of like support structure developed around these kind of characters that carry these people towards even successful artistic careers, because they actually read the lips of the people who want something and then support that. That's involving curators, but also galleries, collectors, everything. So where the person who wants something gets all the attention and the support to make something kind of like collectively together. So here, the wanting is actually just yeah, it's a cognitive act, yeah, that actually takes itself, it makes itself as the driving engine, the conceptual engine, but also the pure fantasy of wanting something. Uh, it's a kind of a dependency that is here created, that is, of course, strictly limited, but doesn't need to be successless. So that, of course, that's why I think that the healing instrument is practice, where the wanting is kind of defined through the doing. Because I think then through having an idea and then translating it or seeing the limitations, but also see how the practice, how the doing can change the wanting, I think that's an essential experience. It's an essential moment of creativity, you know. But the eager egret is a very successful model. And so be my guest. I still try to operate with a different kind of investment. And sometimes it's Wunst and sometimes it's Wart. And once in a while, there might be also art in between.